Hello friends, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel SS Hub for Fundas and Concepts. Our today's topic is heat. In the previous chapters, you learnt that woolen clothes are made from animal fibers. You also know that cotton clothes are made from plant fibers. We wear woolen clothes during winters when it is cold outside because woolen clothes keep us warm. We prefer to wear cotton clothes when it's hot. This gives us a feeling of coolness. You might have wondered why particular types of clothes are suitable for a particular season. In winter, you feel cold inside the house. If you come out in the sun, you feel warm. On the contrary, in summer, you feel hot even inside the house. How do we know whether an object is hot or cold? How do we find out how hot or cold an object is? In this chapter, we shall try to seek answers to some of these questions. In our day-to-day life, we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. For example, tea is hot and ice is cold. How do we find how hot or cold an object really is? A reliable measure of hotness of an object is its temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. Different types of thermometers are used for different purposes. They are clinical thermometers, laboratory thermometers, and maximum minimum thermometers. A clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end. This bulb contains mercury. Outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. If you do not see the mercury thread, rotate the thermometer a bit till you see it. You can also find a scale on the thermometer. The scale we use is Celsius scale, indicated by degrees centigrade. A clinical thermometer reads temperature from 35 degrees to 42 degrees centigrade. The normal temperature of human body is 37 degrees centigrade. Hence, we use a clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of a human body. If that is the case, how do we measure the temperature of other objects? For this purpose, there are other thermometers. One such thermometer is known as the laboratory thermometer. Please note the highest and lowest temperature it can measure. The range of laboratory thermometer is generally minus 10 degrees centigrade to 110 degrees centigrade. You must have noticed in the television, the anchors report the weather report. These weather reports are measured by a thermometer called the maximum minimum thermometer. We will proceed to the next topic, transfer of heat. You might have observed that a frying pan becomes hot when kept on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? Because the heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So, you can understand that in both cases, the heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. In fact, in all cases, heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. How does heat flow? Let us investigate. Take a rod or flat strip of metal. Fix a few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distance. Clamp the rod to a stand. If you do not find a stand, you can even put one end of the rod in between bricks. Now heat the other end of the rod and observe. What happens to the wax pieces? Do these pieces begin to fall? Which piece falls the first? Do you think that heat is transferred from the end nearest to the flame to the other end? If so, the process by which the heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is called as conduction. As a standard phenomena, you can note in solids heat is transferred by the process of conduction. The materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are conductors of heat. For example, aluminium, iron, and copper. The materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are poor conductors of heat, such as plastic and wood. Poor conductors are known as insulators. The water and air are poor conductors of heat. Then, how does the heat transfer take place in these substances? Let us find out. Take a round bottom flask, fill it with 2/3 of water, place it on a tripod or make some arrangement to place the flask in such a way that you can heat it by placing a candle below it. Wait till the water in the flask is still. Now, heat the water by placing the candle just below the flask. When water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the sides moves down towards the source of the heat. This water also gets hot and rises and water from the sides moves down. The process continues till the whole water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is called convection. Radiation. When we come out in the sun, we feel warm. How does the heat from the sun reach us? It cannot reach us by conduction or convection, as there is no medium such as air in most part of the space between the earth and the sun. From the sun, the heat comes to us by another process known as radiation. The transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. It can take place whether a medium is present or not. When we sit in front of a room heater, we get warmer by this process. Thus, radiation can be explained. Land breeze and sea breeze. The people living in the coastal areas experience an interesting phenomena. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the water. The air over the land becomes hotter and rises up. The cooler air from the sea rushes in towards the land to take its place. The warm air from the land moves towards the sea to complete the cycle. The air from the sea is called the sea breeze. To receive the cooler sea breeze, the windows of the houses in coastal areas are made to face the sea. At night, it is exactly the reverse. The water cools down more slowly than the land. So, the cool air from the land moves towards the sea. This is called the land breeze. I hope you followed the topic. Please stay tuned to this channel for more updates. Thank you for listening. Cheers. Hello friends.